All right, we're live. Welcome to Seller Sessions. My name is Sharon Evan, and today I have with me the one and only, the beautiful Anna Davidson. Hey, Anna. Thank you for being here.
Hey, everyone. Good to be here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you well. I can hear you well. So if I can hear, I think everyone can hear you.
Brilliant.
So, Anna, for those who don't know you, can you give us a quick 1-2 minute intro to who you are, and then I'm going to give a little bit of a backstory to why it was so important for me for us to have this live today about this specific subject, which is product research without softwares. So if you could give us a quick intro, that would be awesome. And you're frozen. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay, sorry. You were frozen for a second, but now you're good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go for it. We can hear you now.
I've got full internet, so hopefully you should be able to hear me. But yeah, I'm Anna. I've been selling in e-commerce and on Amazon since 2012, 2013. I got really stuck in. And yeah, just sold in lots of different categories in beauty, personal care, supplements. I've done toys and gadgets, but I'm really honed in on focusing on my bamboo niche at the moment, my bamboo brand. So yeah, loads of years of experience and selling in all different marketplaces, mainly UK and Europe, and have sold in the US platform as well. So, and I also do coaching. I run a program of my own, and I'm really into female empowerment, as you know, Sharon. So I also have a podcast which is all about sharing inspirational stories. So yeah, just a bit of a snippet about me, really.
Awesome. Thank you for that intro. So this subject specifically, which is product research through not using softwares, right? I'm extremely passionate about this specific subject because I feel like in Amazon's 2021, right, the game has changed, right? We're not in the same place where we were, let's just say 3 or 4 years ago, where you could just find a random $2 product on Alibaba and sell it on Amazon for $50. Everything has changed. And you know that you're a lot nicer and sweeter than me, and I'm a little bit more aggressive on this specific subject. But, I think that there is so much lack of creativity around product research, and people have become so used to only using software that I think that it's important to tell and show people there's another side to product research, which, we're gonna talk about. What is your take on what, on that subject?
So my big thing is, I've frozen again, haven't I? So I hope you can hear me. But my big thing is around, I think people have forgotten that what we're trying to do, like buying and selling products has always been around, whether it's been offline or whether it's been online. Because, of course, years ago we started, like the traditional market stall, and I think that people get so into these softwares that they actually forget what they're actually trying to do. Now, I always try and break it down simply. We're trying to solve problems, aren't we? And we're trying to find where there's demand as well. But I think people forget who they're targeting and who their customer base is. And I think focus on what your customer base needs.
Yeah.
Then finding the products is a lot easier.
I think people don't even really know to start from thinking about who your customer base is, right? People don't even think about it many times. So I think that's part of the problem. So I think what I was sort of excited for us to do today is to bounce off each other different methods that we use and teach others as well for product research. And just to give a little bit of more of my side of things, the problem I have with using software as a starting point for finding a product is that most people are putting in the same types of parameters, right? A product that's making this amount of money and a product that's in this amount of tiers and whatever it may be. And in my experience and opinion, the softwares end up showing people the same products, right? Now, I do want to say that there is no one way to do Amazon. There are some people that have found products through softwares and it's worked out for them. And we're both, voicing our experience and our opinion. But that is why I'm sort of anti-software as a starting point. I think that it's great to use softwares, when it comes to validation, but not as a starting point. So we're going to start off with you. If you'd like to sort of give one of your little, one of your methods for when I was going to say golden nuggets. I was going to say one of your little golden nuggets for one of the methods that you use for product research.
I totally agree, because I think that people forget that these softwares are tools, aren't they? They're to help us maybe validate our ideas. So probably the first one then is social media. And obviously there's loads of social media within there. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's Pinterest, which is huge now. And a little sort of tip or golden tip is that I sell a lot of beauty products, so I will go on Facebook and like a lot of beauty pages, because then it's like you reverse engineering their advertising strategy, that they will then target me for those ads of their new products or their up and coming products that are coming out. So I get to see different products because I'm targeted by my interests that I provide Facebook with. And also with, Instagram, you can search, can't you, for pages related to different niches and things like that. And then Pinterest, I think, is just going to get bigger and bigger. And Pinterest, obviously, you can search by images on different, again, you can start with niches, or you can really niche down within a niche. You've got to obviously have a starting point. You've got to have that niche initially, or you could start with product and look for related products. And, TikTok as well is another one that you could also look at. But I think, especially if you're like really trying to be a customer, it being in the customer's shoes, as it were, to try and find and get these ideas and starting points. So social media is huge. I was going to break it down and just say Instagram, and I'm sure you use social platforms as well. But I think social, another one is Clubhouse, isn't it? The new Clubhouse app. You could actually, people are having conversations about certain topics. You've got your market research there as well, but that's kind of moving on from once you've got the idea. But I definitely think anywhere there's people and it's starting with the audience rather than the product. I'm sure it's like sneezing. I'm sure that if you had $1 or €1 or £1 for everybody that said to you, I don't want to pick a bad product, what's a good product? They focus so much on the product ways to focus on your niche and your customer to find those products as a starting point.
Yeah, you threw in a lot of different. That nugget was social. That nugget was social media. Let's give that nugget with social media. So, yeah, I totally agree with you, and I love social media for product research. I actually teach a method of where I make a fake Instagram account. And when I say fake, I just mean that it's got its own purpose, right? So I have an Instagram account and it's called I Love Products, believe it or not. I love e-products or something like that. And then I follow a whole lot of different niche types of accounts. It also in different countries. So I follow different baby accounts in Russia, and I follow different I have no idea what the text is. I just see the images. I follow different, accounts in overseas. I follow 3D printing accounts, which maybe we'll talk about later. Even though I did host a show on it last week, but we can talk about that.
I watched a little bit of that. I'm going to go back to it because I thought that was a really good one, really good topic.
Yeah, it's an amazing topic. But something else that I do is, so there's two different things that I use specifically Instagram for. And one is where I follow all these different things, but I'm not just looking for, like when I'm looking at an image, let's just say I follow a baby brand in a different country. It doesn't have to be, it's just fun sometimes to look at a different country. And I'm looking at a specific baby brand. I'm going to look, because a lot of the times they'll put many of their products in one beautiful looking image, right? And so I'm just thinking while we're doing this, I wasn't planning on it, but I could even do a quick share screen and show it, me doing it very, very quickly, because it's actually a really cool hack. And I only just thought about it, so it's going to take me 1 minute to set it up. But I just thought it would be cool, don't you think?
Yeah.
It'll be a cool thing to do. We hope nobody will send me a message while I'm doing it, but because I'm going to use my phone to do it. So anyway, I'll just explain while I'm preparing that, because I wasn't going to actually do this. That's one thing. And the second thing you just said about Clubhouse, which I loved, and by the way, I sell in beauty too, very niche products in beauty. I realized on Clubhouse there's a whole bunch of different beauty rooms where they're talking about all sorts of like different beauty products that they use. So I got into a lot of those different rooms just very quietly, you know.
I've lost you, I think.
Okay, you guys, my internet died for a second. Can everyone hear me? Hey, Anna, my internet died for a sec.
Right, I'll come back.
Okay. Cool,
so
awesome.
I heard you discussing about Clubhouse, and I thought you were sharing your...
I was just about to share my screen. I forgot that I was off my my phone. Sorry, guys, for that. I didn't mean to go missing. So I was just saying that I was on Clubhouse and I was listening to all these different people, you know, speaking about all sorts of different things to do with specifically the topic that I was wanting to listen to. I'm really having difficulty sharing my screen. I don't know why. There you go. Okay, I've got it. Applications window. Cool. Can you guys see my phone screen?
Yeah.
Cool. So this is a fake account I have. I love products. And you can see that I follow all these different, see here, all these different accounts. And it's so cool because you can see, like, for example, here, right? So I can see here all sorts of different products. For those people listening to the podcast who aren't watching us live, I'm just scrolling through. We can see a whole bunch of different products. Now you see how it also says on the screen, view products. So you can also click on the products, and there's some just amazing ideas in here. I love this method for product research as well. And it's so cool that you do this too. So I'll just look in here, and
as well, can't you? You can search the bottom for shops, which is another good one. So you can see which got the shops. Yeah,
you can search for it here, which is actually also a great method as well. So yeah, this is one of the methods that I also use, that you said also that you use social media. I'm going to keep scrolling through what we talk here so that we can really get this into people's minds, because it's such an awesome idea. And by the way, what we have right now on the screen is a mini garden. People sell these products, and I don't know if you've ever found these, but they're miniature products. So there's a hobby out there that people actually collect these little miniature things. And they buy miniature products. So I follow all these like miniature things because it's just some great ideas, you know, all these different ideas. So I'll stop sharing my screen. I love the fact that you also use stuff like Instagram and things like that for product research as well. So let's just say you found an interesting niche on Instagram, Pinterest, whatever it may be. What would then be like your next step after you found something interesting?
So say it was an interesting product, I'd then be going straight onto Amazon and just looking to see if I could find that product and what the, you know, because sometimes I find things that might be sold on a different marketplace but are not sold on Amazon, and then that's where I think this is a golden egg opportunity, you know. But a lot of the time it will be already being sold, and then I'm questioning, you know, what's the competition like? What are the problems with the competition? Are there a lot of people that are doing unbranded? So is there a potential for a branded version, you know? A lot of times there's branded options, but I'm looking at how I can improve that product. Maybe bundling something with it, or colors, or just quality, or like the real packaging branding aspect, if it's just a basic thing. And then it's just like a natural progression that you then go on and look to see how much you can source that product for with whatever you're thinking of doing. But I do a lot of research on the competition, because I'm looking at how they fall down, what is it that can be improved. And sometimes you think, actually, the competition have got it pretty sus. I can't really feel like I've got a good edge here. So it might be them moving on to something else. But then other times it's like, oh my God, they're not doing this, this is what I could create that I've done before with my other brands,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What I tend to do is, once I find a potential product on social media, is I first of all go to Amazon. Sometimes I find weird products on social media because I like looking into weird niches. And then I don't really necessarily know what the keyword is that I'm looking for, because, I'm just seeing a product. I'm not necessarily seeing a keyword. Can you still hear me, Anna?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. But anyway, and then I'll go into Amazon and then I'll search for the product. And if I can't find it, I'll use something like Helium-10 to put in like different types of keywords. So that I can, see if I can find that product. And sometimes it won't be that product, but I'll go down the rabbit hole from that product. Right. So sometimes, let's just say if I've found something random on if I've found something random on Instagram, let's just say like this miniature gardening stuff, right? It may lead me into like totally different niche within that niche. So yeah, I love that social media aspect of it. Your internet's playing up a little bit. I'm just letting you know.
I'm being a bit glitchy, so sorry. I know it's a bit distracting, but I was going to say from there, I'm also, that's where the tool then comes in to verify and validate, doesn't it? Where you then start looking at keywords around your idea. And like you're saying, it could evolve into that item is actually an addition to another thing, because you find something else along that path. It's just like, it's that starting point, isn't it, that fuels the idea that you then just, it's interesting now thinking about the actual steps that you go through. But it's definitely using, Jungle Scout, Helium-10, or Zongo, whichever one you do use, to kind of validate and be looking more than at the numbers and the keywords.
Yeah, I agree. We've got someone here, Amara, saying Cerebro and Magnet are the things that we use for keywords. So yeah, I use Cerebro, Magnet, and then also brand analytics. So if you've got access to brand analytics, you should also be using brand analytics as well. So your golden nugget number one was social media. We spent a little bit of time on that, and then I shared my screen for the Instagram. One of my golden nuggets, which I really, really love this subject, and I know that I've spoken about it many times, but for those who don't know, I like to use hobbies as a starting point. So in my experience, and I've really looked into this, every single hobby in this world is tied to some sort of product, right? Even bloggers or podcasters or, camping and yoga, and every single hobby in the world is tied to a product. So what I like to do is I like to go to Google and I like to type in, for example, hobbies. And then you can go to something like Wikipedia, and it shows you a whole bunch of different hobbies. And then that's an amazing starting point. And from there, you can start niching it down. So let's just say if we found a hobby for camping, you can go from camping, okay, so camping for women, for men, for kids, camping with kids, camping with pets, camping with, disabled people, camping with older people, whatever. There's so many niches that within that, a lot of people just hear someone say camping and then they'll be like, well, the camping niche is really, really saturated. And I'm like, not if you dig deep within it, right? There's many, many, many sub niches. The weirdest hobby I've ever found is called insect pinning. So I've spoken about this in the past, people actually collect dead insects and they pin insects to these boards. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but they need supplies for their crazy hobby. They need supplies. They need the pins. They need these boards. They need a whole bunch of really, really weird things. So yeah.
It's funny.
Somebody.
I remember years ago always using my example as the spider catcher, which was a really niche product that I found. And within spider catchers, there's the manual spider catcher, which is like a clamp. And then you've also got the vacuum version. And there's a lot of people like, we don't like the vacuum version because that's like damaging the spider. We like the be able to clamp it so we can release it. But then the vacuum one was a much better response at trying to get the spider in the first place. So there's these like two camps of people. And yeah, that was a very niche specific product. I haven't revisited that. It's probably really saturated now, but I found that in a similar path by, like you say, your hobbies of pinning dead insects. So it's interesting what you find when you kind of get really down, you know.
Yeah. Amar wrote, the products we got from social media always having a high competition. So as being a new seller, we cannot compete. I have this issue where people say like categorize everything, right? So Amar, if you've specifically found that the products you're looking at on social media are a high competition, start looking at different things, like start using it differently, right? So just like how I shared my screen and I showed, like I follow many, many different types of like accounts. And through those accounts, I obviously choose what accounts I follow, but through those accounts, I look at the little things, I look at the little details. And like Anna said, you can also look on shops. So yeah, I think that it's about, it's not also
what you,
yep, sorry, go for it. Sorry, Anna.
You know, like niching down, because if it's too saturated, your niche is too general. You've got to find that. I think you said niche down. I was talking about niche within a niche. You just got to basically find your part in that market. Okay, by, like you said, with the camping for grandmas or camping for children or camping, here is your target audience within that niche, because it's too saturated as it is, and you can find it. You've sort of really niche down.
So Mara just said in response to what I said, as you both are old sellers, so which category or niche or sub niche you recommend for a new seller, which they should target? These are the types of questions that I have difficulty with, and I'll explain why. There is no category specifically that you can target, that you should target. There's no specific sub niche that you should target, and there's no like, shortcuts to it. So Amar, what I would recommend for you to do is for you to start with a starting point. If you're using social media specifically, to start with a starting point, like let's just say if you were going after different camping products, and start thinking outside the box. Like I said earlier, right? So camping products for, who can I sell this product to? I can sell it to, like it's exactly like I just said. So from that category, start looking into subcategories as well. All right, so I gave my second little golden nugget. Anna, it's your turn.
We're young sellers that have just been selling a while.
That's true. We're not all. He meant that we've got more experience. I totally get it.
So yeah, the other golden nugget that I'll give is look at other marketplaces off Amazon. So look at eBay, look at Etsy. I know there's more than that. There's Walmart and all that kind of stuff, but eBay and Etsy are probably my main ones. And I use something called Watch Count, which tells me the most watched items on eBay, and it's completely free. A lot of the products tend to be what I call as sort of cheap products that come up on that, because if you think about it, it's the most popular items. It's a bit like looking at Amazon's bestsellers, I suppose. But I've got loads of ideas from that. I've found products that nobody is selling on Amazon and found them early. And then, 6 months in, I see then someone else starting to sell it, but you've really then got that niche for a while. So I love that. I mean, obviously Etsy is more your handmade type market, isn't it? You don't have to be handmade, but you have to be a bit quirky. So whether you're vegan, you've got vegan products, or you've got spiritual products or mindfulness products. And eBay is obviously more of your bargain basement, isn't it? But watch count is a really, really, really good tip. And within that marketplace thing, looking at
okay, Anna, you're having a little bit of connection issues there, but maybe while you're trying to fix it, watch count I've actually never looked at watch count. What exactly is on the platform on watch count? Like what?
So you can search by country, you can search by keyword. Can you hear me okay? Because I know I'm being really glitchy. Yeah, you can search by country, you can search by keyword, and then it's completely free, and it just tells you the most watched items, because you know on eBay it's all about you can watch that product. So it's
I was thinking about to bring it up here, guys, but because we're having some difficulty with Anna's stuff here, I'm not going to bring it up. So while Anna fixes what's going on with her internet, not watch cow, Cynthia, watch count. It's the British accent there. Nia, I know you're watching us. Can you just let me know if you can hear us well? I'm going to move on to my next golden nugget, which is, I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. My next golden nugget from me when it comes to product research is to use photographers' websites. So I know that for some people, this may be a no-no. So the first thing is that, let me explain. When you look at photographers' websites, photographers are going to be showing you on their portfolio the past work that they've done, right? And this also goes back to Instagram as well. On Instagram, I also follow a whole bunch of photographers as well, specifically photographers for product photographers. I specifically follow them because a lot of the times they'll show you all these different products that they're working on, and you can find a lot of hidden nuggets there. Now, a lot of you may be listening to this and be like, oh my God, that's a huge no-no. But what I would say is whenever you're working with a photographer, make sure that you either get them to sign a contract or you make it clear to them that you do not want them to share your products online. Because there's many people that won't do that. And then I was just saying, Anna, that one of the ways that I also do product research is by looking at photographers' websites. So when you go to their portfolio, product specific photographers, when you go to their websites, you can always see their portfolio. And many, many times, they'll give away a lot of different niches there. And I actually found one of the products that I actually built an entire brand around 3 years ago while I was on there. Specifically, I was looking for a specific, I was looking to change a photography agency that we were working with. And I saw this really weird product and I didn't know what it was. And then I did like a whole bunch of, when you put a photo into Google and then it told me what the product is. And yeah, and I've built a whole brand around that specific product.
That's good. That's a good tip. I've not thought of that. So that's really good.
I did mention that you need to make sure that when you work with a photographer, that you do ask them to not share your products ever on their website for that specific reason. For people like me that will use that as a product research method. So yeah, that's one of my little tips for a product research method.
It's a bit like when the suppliers put your branded item on their, like listings, like on Alibaba and stuff. I've had to get them to remove my branded products when they put them back on Alibaba after they've done my order. I'm like, hey, remove it. It's a similar thing, isn't it, with a photographer? But that's a really good idea. I like that idea about photographers. That's a good one.
And also for Instagram,
I apologize because
you can really follow. Sorry, say that again, Anna. I didn't hear you.
I'm apologizing because I'm really glitching in and out, and it's because I'm homeschooling at the moment, and everybody is using the bandwidth, I think. So apologies for being a bit in and out. It's a bit irritating. So sorry, but I think you got that.
I think we're okay for now. I was also going to say, because we were talking about Instagram earlier. So in the account that I shared with you guys is the account I show like students of mine, but I also have another account, which is my actual like account for product research on Instagram. And I follow a whole bunch of photographers on there, like product photographers, because they will be very rude and share their work on there specifically. Like I've seen some of my clients work in there, and I've had to go in and say, hey, tell your photographer to take those images down. But yeah, it's a great way for a starting point. Let's see how we go to move it over to you, Anna, if you want to give us another one of your golden nuggets for product research without software.
So another one is just looking at Google Trends. Google Trends obviously isn't around products, but you can actually put in certain keywords around niches. And it was something that I looked at a lot last year when everything was happening with the pandemic, because there were certain like niches that were being really, really highly searched. Obviously things like COVID and face mask and all that kind of stuff. But you can see if this product's going to be a seasonal product by looking back, over the years. But you've got to be careful with it, because obviously Google Trends is just what people are putting into Google. So it can be anything, you know what I mean? So you can actually write the name of products, or you can look at that particular niche if it's a growing niche. Because obviously recently there's been, people are doing more homeschooling, aren't they? So putting something like homeschooling in, will you be able to see the trend on that? And you can do it by country bases and things like that. Or another example might be home gym, are people looking for that? So it just kind of gives you a comparison from, like, especially recently, from previous years, to see if that's going to be a really, really good niche to be in. So that's not product based, it's more niche specific.
That's cool. I love Google Trends. There's also the heading of this was to do product research without software, but Helium 10 does have Trendster as well, which will you could also use. Well, it also shows you the Google side of it as well, Google Trends. Another product research method that I use is Shark Tank and Dragon's Den. It's probably my favorite product research method of all time. So every day in the morning, because I work online a lot with people, I have to put on my makeup, right? So I spend about 10, 15 minutes doing that. And I always watch on YouTube on times two speed while I'm doing it. I don't have to see what they're talking about. I can just listen to it. I always listen to an episode of, or two or three, of Shark Tank or Dragon's Den in different countries. So right now I'm like on the loop of Shark Tank Australia. I've watched a lot of Shark Tank America, Dragon's Den Canada, Dragon's Den UK. And I also watch, because I live in Israel, I've also watched Shark Tank in Israel. Australia is probably my favorite Shark Tank in the world. But the cool thing is that a lot of these people are inventors or really smart people that didn't think yet about patenting a product, or didn't think yet about, even going on Amazon. And I have found a lot of golden nuggets, or even ideas, right? So, like it could be, I've once, there was a niche, I can't remember what it was exactly, but it can be something like someone found a solution for left-handed people. And then I'm like, hey, I didn't even think about left-handed people, so it may not be the product specifically that they have, but it could be, beyond that. Hey, I didn't think about that problem.
People, yeah, exactly. I've had, and going back to Shark Tank, it's like in Clubhouse, they've got loads of little rooms like that where they've had people from Shark Tank in there, and they're talking again around different ideas, and people are pitching as well. There's been a lot of that going on in Clubhouse, with people pitching ideas. So yeah, I love that idea, because I've done that, but not as like, it's not something I would teach. I'm really into all that kind of stuff. I'm always watching them, kind of think of them. So
I legit teach that as a product research method because it's an amazing one. There's many different things you could do. You don't have to watch the entire episode if you don't. I just really enjoy it. You can just go straight to the description and sort of see the link or read about it if you want to be one of those. But I think part of the things that I love is listening to the questions they're asked, and by hearing the sharks also ask them the questions that it just gets my mind rolling, and I just start thinking about all these different things.
It's real business, isn't it? Because I think sometimes when everyone's in these Amazon bundles of like the different softwares, so they're not thinking about the real business out there and investments and funding and numbers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I really love all the Dragon's Den and also Shark Tank stuff. And I think it's a great idea to look at other countries because there'll be slight differences.
That's the thing, the other countries, because I can see that I've found that in a lot of specifically because there's Shark Tank Australia is like amazing. The amount of awesome stuff that comes out of Australia is so awesome. But I've just found that there have been a lot of Australian inventors specifically on Shark Tank Australia that haven't yet got patents. Like they'll ask them, the sharks will say, have you patented this product? And then they'll say no. And then I'm like, oh my God, I quickly go onto Amazon. Let's have a look. Quickly go into USPTO, have a look if it's patented or not. And then, not to copy their product, but to, start thinking of how I can make it better or what can be done to it. And, and not just that, there's like some things on Shark Tank and I'm like, how did I not think of that? There's such simple things sometimes, and I'm just like, it blows my mind how how there's just really cool things like one. Yeah, there was this mum in Shark Tank. How people have got what?
It's just amazing how you suddenly think, God, how did they think of that? And then it fuels another idea for something else. But
exactly.
some people they've really managed to like create stuff. I think children are great at that. Children are great at solving problems and having a bit more imagination and stuff.
I think children are great at that as well. But I think there's some there's a mum who invented it's not really an invention, but she made like this little door that's like a miniature size and you put it next to the child's bed and it's solving a problem of kids that are, scared to sleep alone. And she tells them, and it's like this beautiful little door. It's called something like fairy doors. And then like the fairy will leave them. There's like a door that you put on the floor next to the child's bed. And and there's a mailbox and they invested in that. Today it's totally saturated on Amazon, but because she didn't get any protection whatsoever. There's, this couple that they had invented like we have ice trays, but specifically for soups. And they got quite a bit of money from the sharks and they're making millions on Amazon. And it's literally just an ice tray. Big, huge ice trays for soup and for people that like to freeze their food. It's just like these really simple inventions sometimes that people have where they've maybe got a design patent that you can get around. But I love Shark Tank a lot. So I can see that Anna's still having a bit of difficulty with her internet. So I'm just going to continue on to another golden nugget of mine. So another golden nugget of mine, guys, for product research is careers. Hey, Anna, you were gone for a second, so I had to continue. So when I say careers as a starting point, we'll go back to it in 1 second. When I say careers as a starting point, just how I said hobbies, you can go into Google and you can type in careers. And you can find a whole bunch of different careers, and every single career needs some type of products. Builders need products. Teachers need products. Nurses need products. All these different careers that are out there, even speech therapists, they buy all these types of products themselves that they need for the therapy that they do. And if you think outside the box, let's just say you found nurses, because I use this example a lot. And then you go into Google and you go into YouTube and you learn all these different things about that specific buyer avatar and you find what kind of products they need. And then you go back onto Amazon and you check, are there any products like a stethoscope case? Are there stethoscope cases for nurses? And if so, then you go back and you check on Helium 10, for example, for the keyword data. are there any people searching for these products? And then you go into Helium 10, for example, and you'll type in things like gifts for nurses, products for nurses, nurse, and then see what the autocomplete comes up with. All these really cool products that you can find that you didn't know. So something I learned through doing this method was that nurses in America need to buy all their own gear. I did not know that their stethoscope cases, their clipboards, even their Sharpies, like everything they need to buy themselves. And there's this whole, niche out there for different products for nurses. And there's a lot of little, golden nuggets. So that's another way that I do product research, is a starting point being careers, going to Google, looking at all sorts of different careers. There are so many different careers out there that the typical person didn't even know. Like, I learned so much I was like, I didn't even know that's a job. I didn't even know about this. I didn't even know that teachers buy all their own gear for this and this and this. Like, when you go into it, you learn all these things, and there's a lot of supplies that people need for their jobs. So that's another one of my little golden nuggets.
Yeah, I've just spoken to my students about that as well, and I've got a nurse that's actually one of my students there, because I think as well, if you are, or that's been your old world, you really understand that particular need to be able to provide the items. Because I think Amazon is great we always go to Amazon when we need like supplies, don't we? Because another one was like around jobs, was like all these Etsy or crafters. They, a lot of the time, because they're not a huge brand or a huge company with buying power, they'll go to places like Amazon to get their supplies to make the stuff that they're selling on these other platforms or crafts and things like that. So if you have that mindset of what are the supplies for all these different jobs. So yeah, that's a really good one. That's one that I talk a lot about. I think, again, it's focusing on the avatars and it's focusing on the customer. Another one that I've got, I don't know if you can hear me, actually, I won't glitch again. Can you hear me?
I can hear.
One that I've got is QVC channels, which is interesting now that we've got Amazon.com live. But I don't know, depending on where you're located, I think in the US they have more of these QVC type channels. In the UK, it all seems to be at like 2 o'clock in the morning if I randomly wake up. But there's a lot of these QVC channels that will show, or things like, when you got Voucher and Gumtree vouchers and things like that are being thrown at us. There's all little kind of how-to videos around products, which when we were back out in the world where we could go and visit places, that's what's great about actual physical fairs, isn't it? And, it kind of fits with the QVC, all these kind of channels of going to demonstrations based on that particular niche. It's a niche that you're really interested in.
Amazon Live, for those of you who don't know what Amazon Live is, it is a, how do you explain what Amazon Live is? It's basically like a place where you can live stream on Amazon. You can live stream your products and show how to use your products. There's many influencers who are affiliates for Amazon, who also have their own little, I don't know if they're called channels. What are they called on Amazon Live, Anna? I'm not sure what the right name for it is, but there's heaps of influencers that have, it is a channel?
It's like your brand channel, isn't it? It is like your brand channel.
But there's many influencers that aren't connected to a brand and they do Amazon Live. And then in one show, I do this all the time also for product research. I didn't even think to say it. It's really smart that you said this, because it's actually an amazing way to do product research. I was sitting watching one of these influencers that has like heaps of followers on TikTok, talking about all these different beauty products. So what happens is, while they're streaming their Amazon Live, the live stream, they're using multiple products, and they've got these like links to them at the bottom on Amazon, guys. Like, you can find this on Amazon at the top. It'll say Amazon Live. And yeah, it's just an amazing way to do product research as well, because while they're actually like streaming live, you can see the products they're using and they're about to use. It's actually really smart. And also, if you live stream on your own product, then it also shows up on your page, but that's a different story, not to do with product research. So that's really smart, Anna, the Amazon Live as well.
Yeah. I think Amazon Live's got, obviously it's only available in the US at the moment. It's going to be huge, I think. I really do. It's something to watch, isn't it? With the whole influencers, and also you can create your own videos, and you'll be able to create your own demonstrations, I think, as a brand owner.
I think that even if you sell in the UK, that's even a product research method that you can use, right? You can still watch Amazon Live in America and get ideas for how to bring that back to the UK or Canada and wherever it is that you sell.
I do that a lot, where if I get in my product research, if I think, right, this is the product I'm going to go for, my final bit of research is looking what's happening in the US, because I'll see like more variations or differences in that particular niche, because it's like they're ahead of the game. So it might just fuel me for an idea, and I won't do exactly the same. It might just fuel me for an idea that hasn't been done in the UK yet.
I just want to acknowledge some people that are here. I didn't realize we had all these different people writing hello. So Joanne said hello, and Chaim said hello. It's just because I know him. I know how to say his name. Chelsea said hello. And we have a lot of people that said hello. Hello to everyone. We had a question here that I'm just yeah, I've got a question here. I had my problem finding products, but I discovered your kind ways, Sharon, how to find products. Now I'm finding every week at a good product to sell. I love when you talk about this topic. Thank you. I appreciate it. Be Your Own 20 said, I started my Amazon journey a year ago, sold a seasonal product, made 20% profit. Now leaving this product is not enough demand. I've been looking at high competition niche, high reviews, and high margins. Should I go away? Do they mean, should I go away from looking at high competition, high niche, higher revenue? Well, I mean, unless you got the money to back it up, or go for it. And then they wrote, oh my gosh, that's such a cool idea, as I'm a midwife in London.
Go for the midwife in London idea is my tip. Go for the midwife in London idea, because you're a midwife.
Yeah.
Loads of things that you could provide.
Cool. Yeah, some people having difficulty. Tanji said, thanks for repeating what she says. Cannot distinguish her words. I think that the audio is not as good. We'll have to bring you on again, Anna, next time when the Wi-Fi will be a little bit better. Miguel, who is also, him and his wife have a video. They are photographers and have a video. They do videos as well, is here, and he said amazing, awesome. So I think that we'll give one more method each. Your method now was Amazon Live, which is just an awesome way for product research. I don't want to give away all my little nuggets, so I'm going to give away one nugget, which is not for, actually, I'll give away two. And one of them isn't me giving away anything. One of them is just something that I believe everyone should do. And an amazing starting point is being understanding or coming up with a buyer avatar, basically. So many times you can be your own buyer avatar, and it can be an amazing way to start from a starting point. So what I mean is, so if I was trying to look at products for someone like me, then I'd write on a piece of paper and a pen all these different things that I like or that I'm into. Right? Like I know that it's not difficult to believe, but I'm extremely girly, and I have all these like really, really girly products, right? All these really girly things that I like. But there's also a lot of hobbies that I like. You know, I'm a martial artist and I do kickboxing. So I could have even looked at specifically, let's just say kickboxing for kids, kickboxing for women. You know, there's so many different things that all of us can sort of write down on a piece of paper and a pen. And I've done this with a lot of different people. And it's amazing that if you just try this, you're bound to find something. If you take a piece of paper and a pen and you write down either your hobbies, things that you're interested in, things that you love. And if you don't like anything, then, you know, your wife or your husband or your children, the people around you. And it makes it very, very easy to then say, okay, well, this is some interesting, starting points. Now, how can I find what sort of products, can I see around this? I'll go to Instagram, I'll go to Pinterest, I'll go to YouTube, I'll go to all these different, things to get ideas. So I encourage everyone watching us and listening to us to try that, to take a piece of paper and a pen and write either your different hobbies, different things that you like, different things that your children like, your wife likes. I did this with someone once and he gave me the most weirdest things that his wife liked, not like in a sexual way, it's just, weird things that his wife was into, like witches and stuff like that. And, hey, Bradley Sutton and Tim Jordan found that coffin, right? That coffin shelf that people are into. So there's heaps of things that you may be like, hey, that's an interesting niche. And it doesn't have to be for your age group, or it doesn't have to be specifically for you. You can then find how you can sell that to a different buyer avatar. But your starting point was basically things that you're into. So that's one tip. I'm going to give one more tip, Anna, and then I'm got to go over to you. I'm just waiting until I can see you a little bit less blurry. One more tip is not a lot of people. This one is not for everyone, and this one is not going to be the perfect method. But one of the methods that I also use is specifically on Amazon. There's 2 secret places that people don't think about going to. One of them is there's a tab. If you zoom out on Amazon, you'll see more tabs. A lot of people don't know this. So if you zoom as much as possible out of Amazon on the screen on your computer, you'll see more tabs, at the top. And one of them will be coupons. And then you can actually go to a specific tab on Amazon about coupons, and you can find many products that currently have coupons and all these weird niches that you didn't even think about. That's one secret place on Amazon that people don't think about. And the second one is Amazon top reviewers. So if you go to Amazon top reviewers, or if you go to, and you can find this by Googling Amazon top reviewers, and you spend a little bit of time at looking at the top reviews, the products that they've reviewed. And don't just go to page 1, go to like page 20, because everyone will go to page 1. Go to all these different pages. You can find most of these people have reviewed thousands of products, all sorts of little starting points there as well. And I can see you really well now, so I'm going to move on to you for a golden nugget.
Yeah, quickly, let me get in before my Wi-Fi goes. I was debating what my final tip was going to be, but I think you gave me an idea. So from your idea around looking at top reviewers, I also look at most wished for and most gifted, because everyone always looks at bestsellers, don't they? But there's also, you can basically, the people that put the stuff on the wish list, you've got the most wished for and the most gifted. Amazon give us that information. So that's also a point that can fuel us. And also things like, frequently bought together, you can get ideas on the frequently bought togethers. There's a 100%. Lot of information that Amazon give us, that we miss, or a lot of people miss.
To be honest, I can go on. I've got so many other tricks up my sleeve because we're on the Amazon thing. One more thing is, and it's probably, I could give so many other ones, but I just will quickly say, because we did speak about Amazon, if you're brand registered, then one of the only ways you should be doing product research is using brand analytics. Brand analytics is a freaking gold mine for product research. You can go into brand analytics and write just random words, and then you find and it's data from Amazon. So it's not Helium 10 or Jungle Scout or all these softwares that a lot of it's estimation. It's real data from Amazon. And the thing with brand analytics is that you can go back in time and look at the difference. Was this keyword being searched a year ago? Right? Or how popular was this keyword a year ago? How popular was it 6 months ago compared to now? So brand analytics is another good one as well, since we're on the subject of using Amazon as well. I think we'll have to be back on it and do a subject like this again, because we didn't actually get into some other things that I wanted us to get to. So maybe we'll do a follow-up on this one, which was differentiation and buyer avatar.
We'll do another one when my children are not on their online tutor lesson. So my Wi-Fi can be better, because I've got a few more as well that I was going to give away. around like the competition and things like that. So I've got some other ones up my sleeve that we could share. So it's a great topic. Because I think it's a great topic because people just got to think wider about why are they doing what they're doing, what kind of business they're building, and just break it down simply. See it as a business rather than an Amazon business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that one of the main things I'd like people to take away from this as well is when you find a potential starting point, and maybe that potential starting point currently looks saturated on Amazon, it doesn't end there. Ask yourself those questions that I said earlier. So if you're looking at, Anna, give me any product that comes to your mind. Any product at all.
Yoga mat.
Okay, it's such an easy one for me. So yoga mat. Okay, so let's just say if I was looking at yoga mats, just so if anyone in the audience watching us right now wants to come up with some random stuff, you can watch how I can do this live. So Anna said yoga mats. So for yoga mats, I would then take a piece of paper and a pen and I would ask myself, who can I sell yoga mats for? Or I would go to Google or to Amazon and I would write yoga mats for. And then you'll see yoga mats for women, yoga mats for pregnant women, yoga mats for kids, yoga mats for dogs. Believe it or not, there's yoga mats for dogs, right? I don't know how many people are searching for it, but there's crazy people that buy. Sorry if you're watching this and you have a yoga mat for your dog. I don't mean that you're crazy. It's just weird to have a yoga mat for dogs. So, and that's one thing. And then the second thing is yoga. There's a lot of people that are searching for a very specific type of yoga mat made out of very specific materials, right? And those specific keywords, when you go to them, there's enough search volume and they're not as saturated. And even if you're not going to make as much money as the people that are ranking for the word yoga mat, there are hidden little nuggets in there. That's one. And two, there's also other products that people use yoga mats need as well. So I love the yoga mat one because there's actually a gap in the market in yoga mats that I'm not going to say out loud because I don't want everyone to do it and it's going to get saturated. But there's one. So this is my first time here. How can we follow you guys? And in a minute, I'll say how you can follow us. Sometimes some silly things or some things you're ignoring are good to go, 100%. Such a great topic. You're so smart on this topic. Thanks. Miguel, thanks for all the info. Very useful. Yes, brand analytics sheets are awesome. Brand analytics is just the best. And Nia Rivera, a good friend of mine, said, allow me to add another one. Go to Lightning Deals, click on page 4 and 5 and search for products. It's another one. So on Amazon, there's a lot of hidden treasures there too. Anna, if anyone wants to reach out to you, how can they get a hold of you?
So the best place is Facebook or Instagram. I'm always hanging around Facebook and Instagram. Just reach out to me that way. Social.
And Clubhouse, because we host some Clubhouse rooms together.
So tomorrow we're doing tomorrow we're there at 9 a.m. UK time, which is 11 a.m. for you. And Regina joins us on that one. And then we also have one every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern time and 2 p.m. UK time. And 4 p.m. for you.
For the people listening on the podcast, for us tomorrow is Friday because today's Thursday. Yeah, and if anyone wants to reach out to me, you can find me on Sharon Evan or my YouTube channel, Sharon Evan as well. Thank you very much, Anna, for being on here. In about 2 hours, what day we are? We're on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure. Sorry, we're on Thursday. I think today Isabella's going to be on. So Branded by Women, for those of you who don't know, is currently is on, which is an amazing event. You can't be watching me here and not know about it. So I'm sure you already know. But if you guys don't know, then in about 2 hours from now, I think Isabella's going to be on with a few awesome ladies that are speaking at Branded by Women. If you haven't got your tickets yet, make sure to go to www.brandedbywomen.com. Anna, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with me today. And I will see you all next Thursday. Bye.